Kashak ik satini Johan Nilatoga aya Kashak sani kik zahat uagut Gonalchish ha in chesati. Good to see you all. I'm Nila Toga and Shaksani Keek is also here today. And thank you all for being with us. So today is week 10, day 2, December 15th. We have today and then one more week before we break for the holidays. Since it's Thursday, we'll do breakout rooms today. We'll start off with the Q&A discussion. I know we covered some new material on Tuesday. So before we break, we'll give you an opportunity to ask any questions, make any comments you have for us, and then we'll break out into our groups. So before we get started, what questions or comments do folks have? Don't feel obligated to ask now. You're more than welcome to ask as we continue through our material. So just, Askutu Yaksha.
Thank you. You had showed me last week how to say if like I was someone's wife and my in-laws, and I just wanted to see if I had it correct, if I could just read it to you. Because when I was taking notes, I wasn't quite sure if I got it all.
Oh yeah.
So how I would say it.
Okay.
So I have Zeus Krippen du Shot Aya Hat. Oh, you don't have to put his name. So du Shot Aya Hat. And then
would it be Dushawadi? Would it be Dushawadi? I'm his lady, I'm his wife, I'm his woman.
And then for the in-law section, to say how I was related, you were saying I could say Deshitan, I think A underlined X, so Deshitan Ach Kane Yan.
That sounds good.
Buenishish.
Can you say the first line that you were trying? I'm his wife.
Zeus du Shawade Ayahat.
There you are. That's good. Okay.
Okay, good question. Thank you for asking.
Did we put the alphabet? Did we make it available?
Yeah, I shared the beginning Lingit book by the Dowenhowers, that page 6-9 with the alphabet, as well as the beginning Lingit workbook.
Yeah.
Should I put them on the screen again?
I think we want to stick with the Downhurst, not too many resources unnecessary. Because this is a beginner class.
Okay, let me pull it up really quick. Okay. So starting on, I have it up on the screen here, and I'll put the link in the chat for folks as well, just so that you're able to access it if you don't have this resource already. And what we're looking at here is the beginning Lingit textbook by Nora Marks Dowenhauer and Richard Dowenhauer. And there's some good information here on the K sounds and X sounds of Lingit. And the reason it's nice to be able to look at these on a chart is that there are so many varieties between pinched sounds, underlined sounds, rounded sounds, and then a combination of one, two, or all three of those variations. And so even though we haven't yet covered words that have all these sounds in them, we did want to share with you where you can look to practice and see them together just to help you understand the differences.
I thought it would be kind of fun for you if you would like to go through the alphabet and see what letters we have covered just by talking and the introduction. Because at the beginning of the class, I told you that I don't teach the alphabet because just in talking and learning how to speak the language, you end up using most of them. And as we were going through them, there's some letters that you haven't even touched on yet. And eventually we will. So, but it would be kind of interesting if you want something to do to put a check mark or something to next to the letter that we have already used in class, and see how many more we have to use.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Yeah, it's almost like a like how birders will write down birds that they've seen in their bird book, or like a treasure hunt.
Yeah.
So for folks that want to find this chart, click that link that I put in the chat and go to page 70. And for now, I have it on the screen for you, but this is an excellent resource.
I know that there are some people that say when you start counting up the letters, I believe there is 48. I'm not really sure. And the reason it is because of the different people counting them. And there are some that say there's 52. But if you look at it and realize that the actual letters, there is 48. And if you count the 4 marks that we put to define the letters, the underline, glottal stop, punctuation, the pinch, all the tone marks, you add all that, it is, I think it is 52. So that's where it's kind of confusing when you hear people talking. It just depends on what they're counting. And I think I might agree with whoever says 52, because I believe that these marks are part of the alphabet.
Yeah. So yeah, for example, to illustrate Chuck Sonicuke's point, if you look at the alphabet where we see on the screen, there are only 40 sounds listed in the alphabet. However, there's a description on the left that says for example, rounded letters in this alphabet chart they're not counted as separate. So underline X pinch W. In one perspective, that would be its own letter, but it's not listed as its own letter on this chart. Does that make sense to folks? Should we go through all the sounds right now? Shaksani Keek.
No, I don't think I'm prepared for that.
Mm-hmm.
The one that I would have taught already would have been the CH pinched. We don't have a C, but we have a CH and a CH pinched.
Mm-hmm.
So the CH pinched, you close your teeth on it, most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So it's chalk for an eagle. CH pinched, chalk. The other word I used to teach the "Are you sleeping, Brother John?" And the words were translated by Edna Labardi. Edna Bellardi, I still call her Edna Lambo, aunt in Huna.
Uh-huh.
And it's start chuk means chuk de. Are you still sleeping? Chuk de ita. And so that was the method I used for teaching that letter. But we can use it for ego talk.
Okay. Can I ask you how to spell that phrase? Jugdeita.
CH pinched U CH pinched U K DEI Jukde.
And then ita, is that you are sleeping?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you still sleeping? Jukde, Jukde ita, Jukde ita. Because of a song, when you have a song that you're singing and you see the words, all the words to a song will not have any tone marks, because music has its own tone marks.
Oh. So does the tone of the music kind of override the tone of the words?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it doesn't change the meaning of the word. So it's kind of interesting to go through that. And I kind of applaud the people that can translate, because that's pretty hard to do. I'm not good at translating.
Yeah.
Because I believe they are very clever in how they can come up with the right solution, right words. And I'm kind of sorry that they're actually is not I think Anita Lafferty and her group developed a small songbook of religious songs. And, How Great Thou Art is one of them. And there's quite a few, but it's not published. It's not available to anywhere. Ruth Demmert translated You Are My Sunshine. It's really, really cute. She could sing it to her grandma.
Yeah.
How Great Thou Art is one that's pretty well known too. So
Yeah, I've heard Ruth Demmert sing You Are My Sunshine, and it's so beautiful.
yeah. 2 verses. She translated both verses.
Wow.
She was telling me that she did it in one sitting.
Oh, really?
Try to top that one.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Translating is music. Music is hard because it's poetry.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You have to be as clever as the composer.
The one thing I share with when I host a study group or if I'm with fellow learners is that if I want to communicate something in Tlingit, I'll start by simplifying my English phrase so that it's achievable for me to translate it into Tlingit because of where I'm at in my learning phase. So I tend to view it more as, okay, my goal is to communicate an idea. How can I say this as simply as possible as a learner to get my point across? Whereas like comparing that to master speakers like Ruth Demmer, her ability to take something poetic and translate it into a depth of poetry on Tlingit, I'm like, it just blows my mind.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm still amazed at how the old people were able to accomplish that with subjects they didn't even really know much about.
Yeah.
So they were able to come up with either a word or a translation.
Oh my gosh, somebody just shared a link with us for a recording of You Are My Sunshine in Tlingit. Should we play it?
Yeah.
Okay.
A song that I heard that I'm really amazed at is for the Kagwantan women who are members of the U.S. Navy women in Haines. They translated the U.S. Navy song into Tlingit, and I heard it once, but I was never able to get a recording of it. So if anybody knows anything about that, I sure would like to hear it again. Yeah, go ahead and play it.
Wow, yeah, that would be amazing. Okay. Here we go.
You are my sunshine, goop. Isati, Jaklena Hayati, Achtu Gekehar, Lekushkei, Kleshisakuge, Wa Esechani, Dakshaklak, Afgane Dynasty, Kleachekana, Chuachakidi, Achunitu, Chachikewae, Kechat Wuskidi, diha Keide Kadiga.
That second verse, to Hakidi, while I was snoring.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The other night, dear, while I was snoring.
Oh my gosh, snoring. How do you say snoring?
Kid, KD,
E-D.
KD, K-E-K, K-E-E-D-I.
Okay. That's fun. Oops.
Oh, thank you for the recording. That I've had a hard time finding something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, gonna cheese, Joclyn.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, Donna.
Okay. Well, was there any more questions or comments about songs or verses?
So in the breakout rooms, we're gonna do the self-introduction and the
Oh, Donna, yeah.
Yeah, and the knock knock dialogue.
yeah.
Shirley's in a class.
So before we do that, do folks have any questions about specific lines from the self-introduction or the knock knock dialogue?
Why?
Because if you do, we could demonstrate them for you here before we break out.
No, yeah, they've been flowing. Yeah, they keep up with it pretty good.
Okay, should we do the knock knock dialogue for them? Shaksani Keek?
Okay,
Okay.
talk to you later.
Knock knock.
Do so.
Nila Torah Aya.
How? Hat Kayatin.
Hatgehat Kuchwatin.
Siku Singe.
Skun Khadul Tu.
Wasayati.
Teshwasa wa Ekoa.
Patyak Wasayati ish.
Arthritis Dujiwu.
Sean.
I just realized I need to recolor code this last portion. So before folks break out, let me just fix this. Okay. So the same person who says "Chatyake" then asks "Wasa yati ish." Okay, are folks ready? Yange iwane. Yake.
Can
So-
you show the other, the introduction again? Thank you.
Yeah. I can paste these in the chat too, really quick. Okay, there's the self-introduction in the chat. And I'll do the knock-knock dialogue as well. And you should have access to these, Yuhan, when you go to your breakout rooms. Okay, Robert, looks like we have about 22 students today. So could we please do groups of up to 4 people? All right. And Shaksani Keek, you and I can float between the different rooms if you like.
Okay.
And I think the settings, Robert, before we break, is there a way to change the settings so that when Shirley comes back, she's not muted? If not, Shirley, when we come back to the main room, it automatically mutes us. So we might need Alan to, okay, Robert's gonna check on it. But if we're not able to figure that out, then Alan might need to unmute you when we come back.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna head over. To a breakout room. Hey, Yuhan, how was that? What thoughts or comments do you have?
I think everybody's getting better.
I
Okay,
feel much more confident.
good.
Yeah, I did have a question. I'm kind of confused as to what's the difference between your grandparents' clan and your mother's father's clan.
Okay. Mother's father's clan versus which clan?
Grandparents' clan?
Okay. Really quickly, let me just share my screen so that I could show you the options from the beginning Lingit workbook that we used. And it's a quick one. So I know folks have to go. And let me just, if you have to leave now, we'll be back together Tuesday, and then Thursday after that will be our last class. So just quickly, the grandparents clan, according to the beginning Lingit workbook, you can say your grandparents clan, Dutch Hun, and then if you want to use this term Dutch Hun, it can be either your mother's father's or your father's clan. Okay, so your mother's father's or your father's clan. If you're saying Aya Akhdakanuku, your outer shell, that would be your mother's father's clan.
Thanks.
Does that give clarity?
It's so hard to understand. Even I get mixed up. So the reason we mentioned this was there are some of you that already know how to do it. And if you haven't been introduced on how to do it, you don't have to do it. just do the outline that we gave you, if that's what you want. But if you want to do the one you're asking about now, it's fine, but it's going to take a lot of practice.
Okay, Gwyneth Tish. Cozy Aktla, your hand is up.
Is this maybe just a way to acknowledge like your opposite clan, like your other opposite clan of your relatives? Because
Yeah.
like the way I see it, like I may not be a grandchild of because my father's white and my grandfather's white, but my grandmother's dad is Dachlawadi. So it's a way for me to say I'm Ishkatan, but I'm a child, or my outer shell is Dachlawadi. That's my other family. I think maybe is that a way just to maybe like explain that as far as clans go and your relatives?
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
Okay, awesome point. So next week on Tuesday, even though it's Tuesday, we'll do breakout rooms. And this will be folks' opportunity to practice just reciting their whole self-introduction for each other. So rather than sharing it in front of the larger group, we'll make sure everyone has enough time by breaking you into smaller groups like we usually do on Thursdays. And so just practice over the weekend for that. And if there aren't any more questions, then we'll see you back here on Tuesday at noon. Gwyneth Chish, Yuhan.
Good.
Yeah.
See you later. Thank you.